We're live. Hello,
Hi, everyone.
everybody. Welcome to the New Earth AC. And today we're doing a community chat. My name is Robin Nicole, and I'm one of the hosts. And we have over here, I'm going to introduce my Bonnie Bird. Bonnie, tell everybody
Bonnie,
who you are.
hi, Bonnie Bird, New Earth AC host, and then we also have David Starr, but he'll be back in a second. And we're here with Jennifer Passavant, and we just want to let everybody know how wonderful she is, and just shine her out to everyone, so that you'll just want to love to come to her circle, because she's going to do a unity circle here in the future, and we're just introducing her so that you can, just get a feel about who she is and what she's all about. So, Jennifer, tell us
Hi.
a little,
So,
tell us a little bit about you.
Jennifer, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm expecting rain, which is good. We need it. So, but I'm lovely. I'm lovely. How are you guys?
We're expecting a thunderstorm. So if all of a sudden I get cut out, that's because my power goes or whatever, and I'll have no control as far as whether we end the broadcast or not, because I'm the one that's controlling that part.
Hopefully, it will work out for the best.
Yeah.
Or we'll
And we
just
do
be
have
on
a
all
little
day.
bit of a cyclops in the middle of here. We don't know. We haven't been able to figure out whose volume is doing the problem, but I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. It's not really overpowering at the moment. I don't think it's Jennifer. Don't know if it's Bonnie. We know it's not David, because David's not here.
I've
Now
turned
what?
mine way down.
Yeah,
Okay,
I turned my computer volume down and my mic volume's below halfway. So
Yeah,
Okay.
mine's at 40. But anyway,
So Jennifer,
yes.
tell us about yourself and what you do and everything before we start going into the circle and
All
talking
right.
about that.
Well, I am an intuitive spiritual life coach, and I refer to myself as that because it's different from getting a cold reading. So, I mean, with a lot of psychics, it's like, hey, tell me who I was 3 lifetimes ago. Am I going to get married? And will I make $1 million? And that's very superficial stuff. And healing, you can't get any healing and soul growth from that. It's very superficial. And so with me, it's like, I want you to come to me with one of your biggest, greatest challenges. What's holding you back in life? What trauma are you still working through? What's triggering you? What's holding you back? All that stuff. And we'll dive deep into that. And I receive intuitive information as we're talking about what's causing that, and how you can, and then I give, tools and techniques and tips on how to then overcome those things. And so that's why I refer to myself as an intuitive spiritual life coach versus just an intuitive like psychic or whatever. And then I'm also an energetic healer and a channeler. So I work with an ascended Arcturian. And so, we know that like Yeshua, Kuan Yin, all these beings are ascended. So they've reached their rainbow body of light. Well, star people can also be ascended. And Ian is no different. He's an ascended Arcturian. He's achieved the rainbow body of light. So when I see him, he looks very, I don't know. He looks like he's made of diamonds. He's just beautiful. And then speaking of Kuan Yin, I also work with Kuan Yin. So Ian is very divine masculine, whereas Kuan Yin is divine feminine. So they kind of help to balance my energies. I work with other beings. I don't always know who they are because I don't always ask, because I figure as long as the person's getting the information, that's what's more important. But I do always set the intention that I work with only the beings of the highest love and the highest light. But when I do my energy healing, Kuan Yin and Ian work through my body. So they will move me. They will put my hands on the person's etheric body wherever it needs to be. They'll show me whatever colors I need to see, or give me whatever intuitive guidance in terms of what's causing the issue. They will move my hands. So like if the energy needs to be released, they'll move my hand in one way. If it needs to be infused, they'll move my hand. I mean, it's just really fascinating. I enjoy it so much. It just blows my mind. And then I always give a channeled message, and it's either from my guides or from the client's guides, but they always receive a channeled message with every healing that we do. And so that's why I refer to myself as an energy healer and a channeler, because we do both. Well, we meaning I do both.
All the above.
We
I
do it
know.
together. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how we all work, all of us. We're all working with our guides and all that. But it's so interesting to hear how you do it behind the scenes, because you don't usually do yours out. You usually do yours. You do it and then you call them back.
Yeah, because they tone through me. And it can be really loud. And I don't want anybody to go deaf. And that way it allows me to just focus on what I'm doing and not feel like I have to explain as I go, because that takes away my focus. So if I can just dive in and focus into their energetic field and work on their etheric body, because I do all of my sessions remotely, which I found actually works better for me. Like my sessions are more powerful when they're remote, and that's when the channel of messages started. So I'm like, I'm doing this for everybody. This is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can focus on what we're doing and then call back and go through everything that came up, and they can either say, yeah, I get it. That makes sense. I know exactly what you're talking about. Or no, you're full of crap. I have no idea what you're talking about. Whatever it is. And then the time that's left is theirs to do with what they want. So if they want to talk about something that came up in the healing, something that may have been released or reinfused or whatever it is, like, oh yeah, I know that's because, I don't know, I had a narcissistic father who treated me like crap, whatever it is.
Right.
Then we can dive into that and really focus on that. If there's a whole different issue that they would like to talk about, we can talk about that. So they kind of get a life coaching session and a healing session in one. when they have a healing session. With a life coaching, it's just, I got an issue we got to talk about. So
yeah. So yeah, because it's almost like it goes hand in hand, though. I mean, the energy, even if you are doing coaching, don't you ever notice that the energy is flowing through you anyway?
Absolutely.
They're still getting it,
Yeah, because I'm still channeling. It's still a channeled message. And even just hearing the words is going to create shifts if they allow for it.
Yes, if they allow. That's the big one.
Yep.
So, what is your circle? You're going to be doing a unity circle coming up here soon. So, what are you going to talk about in the unity circle?
So there have always been some little themes that have come up in sessions, or in when we do the Heart to Change Collective, things just sort of tend to come up. And so I just wanted to talk about some of the golden nuggets of healing, which are things that people really need to know, understand, and bear in mind while they're on their healing journey.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. So what's an example? What would be one of the things that you might talk about?
I think understanding one's own responsibility in their healing process. There are numerous things. I hate to go into them now, but
you don't want to go into everything. But like y'all, you do. I get that responsibility, because you have to understand that you create your own world, and everything that's in it you put there.
Yes.
And normally, and when you're looking at someone and you're upset with them, it's because there's something within you that you don't like about yourself that it's reminding you of. Exactly. And so you have to go within. You always have to go within to find it. And that's taking the responsibility, taking your attention off the person who started that, triggered it, and turn it back towards you and say, okay, why is this triggering me?
Absolutely. And also when if you do seek out a healer of, I don't care what modality it is, even if it's, allopathic, you are 100% responsible to maintain whatever's being done. So, if you're not doing your part of it, like let's say you go see a doctor and the doctor says you need to change your diet, you need to drink more water, which a doctor would probably not typically say. But anyway, you need to do these things. If you don't do those things, why did you go see the doctor? You must not actually want the healing if you're not going to follow the instruction. And so when you see like an energetic healer, or someone who can, or an intuitive who's saying, if you take these steps, you can overcome your trauma. You can finally let go of those energies, and you don't do it. All of the work that was done in the healing will go right back to the way it was before, because you didn't do anything on your part to change your thoughts, feelings, actions, perspectives, beliefs, programming, anything. So you just wasted whatever amount of money and time was spent on the healing. And so it's not about
necessarily waste,
healing.
because a seed was planted. They may not have listened to you that time, but hopefully they're like maybe a year late, 6 months later, they'll be like, oh, I remember what Jennifer said to me.
Yeah.
I think she might have been right.
That's another topic, the whole healer topic. That's been coming up a lot with me lately, as far as, do we call ourselves healers? Or because like every single person is their own healer, really.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we're like, we actually are facilitating healing for them. We're not actually healing their thing. Like when they come, it's not like magic where we put our hands out and woo, you are healed and all this kind of thing.
And you don't have to
like
do
a
anything.
thing lately to me. I've been really kind of like worried, because a lot of people, they're looking for a healer and they think that the healer is going to heal them and that it's going to do all this magical stuff for them, and they don't realize that they actually heal themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And I just had a client, my most recent client was like, well, I was looking for a spiritual healer. And I'm like, that's me. No, I was looking for someone that would just send energy and all of my problems will go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's nobody.
What?
There's no such thing.
No. Well, the faith, she was thinking of the faith healers that you see on TV and YouTube, where it's like, you're healed in the name of whoever. And poof, all of those person's problems have gone away. I guarantee you those are staged. But that's really what she was looking for. And she said, I wanted this to be healed and that to be healed. And I wanted this to go away. And I said, I've now spent an extra hour on the phone with you that you've not paid for. And we've just discussed all of the things you just said you wanted healing on. And I told you ways in which you could achieve that. Mm-hmm. So you're receiving the help. You're being given the opportunity to heal yourself. But if you place a condition or an expectation on what that healing has to look like, because it has to look like a faith healer, you're going to block your blessing, because you're waiting for somebody else to do all your work for you. And that's not taking responsibility.
It doesn't work. No one can do anybody's work for them.
Exactly.
Like you can take the, what is it? You can take is it the cow to the trough? You can't make it drink. I don't know what the saying is. Is it a cow?
You can take a horse. You can lead a horse.
Horse.
Yeah. And so I had to point out to her how she's being shown how she can heal herself by, getting tests done to better understand what's going on, to, go see an acupuncturist, to work on overcoming, following my suggestions and overcoming this emotional trauma, like everything she listed. I was like, I literally just handed you information. If you choose not to do anything with it because you're expecting somebody else to do all that work for you in this miraculous, all of a sudden thing, you're going to be sorely disappointed and you're going to be waiting a very long time. Mm-hmm. So thankfully, she was able to calm down and go, okay, yeah, you're right, and she was able to schedule a follow-up session, because, if you don't have accountability for all of the things that you're being told, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, you can start working towards, moving forward on your path and healing. They'll get off the phone and be like, and they won't do anything. And then they'll be like, well, what she didn't work. No, you didn't do your work. So I've been having them schedule just a follow-up, even if it's just a half-hour life coaching thing, just to be like, all right, of all the suggestions that I gave you and all the tools and tips and techniques, what have you done? What has the outcome been? Have you experienced any progress? And that way they're like, okay, since I know I'm going to have this follow-up session, I better freaking do my own work.
Smart.
And also, like, I woke up, let's see, when was this? Because I got the date of it. I wake up and I don't know about you guys, but do you get woke up and like you have to go write something down or whatever? I don't know when the date was, because it was.
No, I just get super weird dreams.
Mine was back, I think, in April, right? And I woke up And I was told just get a pencil, and I was on my way to the bathroom, and I just took this and I just wrote out. And my guide said to me, "No one can open a key or code for you that doesn't already lie dormant within you." So we already have the keys and codes that are inside of us. And when somebody like a healer or somebody comes in and they do a session for you and they open up the key and code, they're opening up something that's already lying dormant inside of you. And I was just like, oh, okay. They're not giving you something magical that's from the outside.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's up to you to bring it to the surface because they've unlocked it, but you personally have to be responsible and staying in the higher energy and bringing it up to the surface. And actually doing the work so that the whatever it is, the gift or whatever it is that you receive can come online.
Yes.
Like there are some people that can actually send some certain energies if you're willing to accept them.
Can't hear you, David. Can you turn your thing up a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, is that better?
Say something again.
Can you hear me now?
Not as good, but like say it again. Can you get any louder, or is that as loud as you can go?
Okay, so this is the loudest I can go right now.
Okay.
All right.
I was just gonna say, like, there are some people that can use energies and assist, but it's like the better of the healers that are, I would say, that are out there help you tap into your own ability because you're your own master, and that's a lot of the stuff I've been getting a lot lately is working on mastering yourself, and when you work with other people, for them to tap into that I am, that source within themselves, and really tap into their own power to. So totally resonate with what you guys are saying there too.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right. Because I am gonna use the word healer because to me, the word healer, it does mean facilitator. So I'm gonna say healer because that way it's like instead of saying I'm a healing facilitator or whatever, you could do that, but I'm gonna meat and taters it. I'm a healer in that I facilitate someone else's healing. I think that's right because you an energetic healer can make a lot of shifts and changes energetically, but those energies needed to be, or how should I say this? Those energies that were out of balance or the density that was stuck got there because of someone's thoughts, feelings, beliefs, perceptions, intentions, whatever it is, whether it's from this lifetime or previous. And so all of the energetic work that was done won't be maintained if there isn't also a shift in the energies that created it in the first place. And so I think that's what you were reiterating, David. And that's exactly right. And that's where, again, like you were saying, David, all healing ultimately is your own responsibility. You can kind of kickstart it, but they have to do their own work on shifting the things that created it in the first place.
Yeah, especially that wonderful shadow work.
Yes, that no one likes to do. And
it definitely has to go within.
Yes, and that was actually another one of my golden nuggets of healing, because shadow work is not fun. Shadow work makes you look at all the parts about yourself that you both hate, and the parts about and learn to love them and accept them, to integrate them, and also the parts about you that hurt the most, the things, the traumas and the pains that maybe you haven't fully processed. And a lot of people don't like to feel the pain. And a lot of people don't like to look at and experience the ugly. But if you, how shall I say this? If you don't do that dirty work of getting down into your darkness, sort of like the hero's journey of diving down into the underworld or the underwater, where you're in the darkness and you're looking at the darker corners of your subconscious mind and your thoughts, beliefs, and perspectives and things, and really allowing yourself to love and accept it, but also feel and process any of the pain that you might find there.
Deep dive.
Oh, wow!
I drew that the other day for the collective when Bonnie and I were doing a thing, and I never talked about it.
I love the
We can-
synchronicities that come up. This is
Anyways, go on.
so if you don't like feeling those things, so you're unwilling to go there, you are blocking your own blessing. You're not going to experience any healing, and you can do all the ceremonies, chanting, meditation, rituals, smudging in the world you want, but you will not really fully experience healing and soul growth if you don't really take the time and energy to face your fears and your pains and your traumas and the things about you that you don't like.
And also, if you don't do the things that are suggested when you're doing these things, like I don't know how many times I had sessions, and I've talked to my higher self sessions where I have literally been told, you need to do your Pilates, you need to stretch, you need to keep yourself like fit and balanced and stuff. And then I go off and don't do it, and I put it off, and then every single time it comes back to my back goes out or something, I'm in pain, and they're like, you just have to do the stretching, girl, and this girl don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's right back to, honestly, that's sort of like you as your self-healer,
Mm-hmm.
where you're your own healer in that regard, but you're also not following the thing that you're not doing your part. You're not. So it's like, whether it's coming from a healer outside of you or you're your own healer, if you don't follow the guidance you're being given, that was perfect.
And the same thing happened with when I was on, you guys were on, we had that comment, David and I were talking away underneath you, and you were on the Hearts to Change that one day.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to my guide, and so I had to pay the price. And we won't go on as to how I had to pay the price, but let's just say that nuts were involved.
Yeah. And a price was paid.
That could be anything. That could mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I wasn't listening to my body, and I wasn't listening to what I was being told, that I'm allergic to the nuts.
And bad things will happen.
Bad things do happen.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that idea that they had about using the Harry Potter wand. I'm just telling you right now.
Here, I got a one for you.
But anyways, let's see. Let's see if we have a few comments.
Okay.
First we have, it's Adam. He's coming up next.
Hi, Adam. I love you.
Adam says, just stuff in my face watching all you amazing, beautiful friends.
Aww.
We'll see you in a little bit there, Adam. And he says that he can hear him. That was David.
Yeah.
And Janine Marquez or Marquise, I don't know if I can say your name properly. I am running with the information that David recently did this person you did a session with, David?
Yeah, back in April, yeah. Yeah, she has a lot of positive, she's really tapping into it. So it's amazing, and that's what it's about, is tapping into your own power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's
So do you have any more little wisdoms of little nuggets that you want to like divulge before so you're going to be doing this Unity Circle. It's going to be on June 6th.
Yes.
At 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, which is over here on the European side of the world. So do you have anything that you would like to do or say, or do you want to talk about anything else?
Not at the moment, only because, not about those things, only because I'd like to save
For the circle.
save some nuggets for the talk. But I do want to say that Hearts of Change Collective, of which Bonnie and I are a part, and Robin, you're kind of like an honorary member still.
We're kind of like sister channel.
Exactly. We are, and I swear.
And David's a regular guest there too.
Yes, I swear I will do the event thing today. I have not had time this week. I will, but we're doing it tomorrow night at around 6 o'clock Eastern time, or it'll be 6 or shortly after.
Which will be, let's see, 6. It'll be 12 o'clock in the European side of the world. That's why I never get into you guys. That's why
I know.
Yeah.
Which sucks. What was I saying? Oh, but it's going to be a group healing, and so it's going to be me, Bonnie. You're above me right now, Bonnie. David, Adam, who's coming on next. Kathy, who's coming on after Adam, who's also in the Hearts of Change. I think we've got Denise Wood, and we've got Aurora, who is an amazing sound healer. So she's going to come on. Did I remember everybody?
And you'll have me back as soon as school is out. Like, I have one more week where my son is in school. And then if I need to stay up late, I don't have to worry about getting up early. Cool. So you'll have me back.
Awesome. We love when you join. The secret, every time there's a synchronicity in those group healings, it's mind blowing because there's always a theme and there's always synchronicities. It's just so much fun. So it's a group healing, and we're all going to each be doing our own thing, but it is going to be to prepare for the super moon, full moon lunar eclipse. This is huge. This is huge energy, and we want to take advantage of that. And so if anyone would like to join us live, not that it has to be live, because you can watch it like 3 years from now and still benefit from it. That would be awesome, because I think, everybody will get to see what we all do, for one, and for two, you'll be able to receive a lot of necessary, messages, shifts, changes, activations, to kind of help prepare you for what's coming.
Yeah.
It's always a mystery.
It is, but in like the coolest possible way. But I'll tell you what, everything I'm hearing about this super moon, full moon, blood moon eclipse basically is just the next 3 months are going to be big. Big stuff going on in the next few months.
Yeah.
So I did want to mention that.
I was trying to make a banner up for this. Okay, so hearts. When is this going to be?
Tomorrow.
Wow.
At 6 Eastern.
Monday. What day is tomorrow?
Monday.
Yeah, but like what date?
Oh, the 24th. And the eclipse is on the 26th.
The 24th at 6 p.m. Did you say? 5 p.m.?
6
p.m. Eastern. Okay. So we've got that. I'm going to add that up there.
Cool. And we're going to try to do these things at least monthly, because it's just, it's fun. It's so fun for us. We love doing this. So just for the sake of, being able to play with each other and have fun and do what we love to do. But also so that, I think people really benefit from these group healings. So
yeah.
Do you guys want to do something magical to end this with for the people? Do you guys have any? Or do we want to talk about that topic that we were talking about before we went on? What do you want to do?
You know what? That topic is super fascinating. So yes, let's talk about that for at least a moment.
Yeah. So how do we want to start the topic? Do you want to talk about it?
Who are you talking to?
Any of you guys. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Sure.
So
I didn't know who you were talking to.
So it all started, I started listening to Allison Coe. She had a disclosure thing on YouTube. She put it up I think it was yesterday or the day before that. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think. And might not have been yesterday. I don't know what day it was. It was a couple days ago. And she was talking about her client. And her client, she does a hypnosis type of I don't know, modality or whatever. And from time to time, she'll come on and she'll talk about her different clients and what kind of transpires in their sessions. And she usually only shares when she finds that a lot of her clients are coming up with the same kind of topic and a lot is happening with it. And so she brought up one there, yes, this last couple of days. And it was around the topic of disclosure and I don't know, something with the guy that was in there. He was telling about an event that was going to be happening, and he was talking about the ships were kind of like coming around in his town, and people were like herded onto the ship that couldn't take it. And then there was this big solar flare that came down, and it was so strong that even the guy, he was like a light worker and he was like already able to like hold the light. But this like solar flare came down. It was so strong that it literally stopped every single person in their tracks on the earth. And some people fell, and some people kind of like were like having seizures and stuff like this. And him and his brother, they went around and they were touching people's like third eye, and they were trying to help them acclimate to this thing. And then they were talking about, and then she went on into the future, and he was saying like his family, him and his family, they went up into the ship after this happens, and but they do the work back and forth, and that there were these crystal cities that were being built on the grid lines on around the earth, and they were literally like crystal cities, and that all the other buildings that were on the earth at the moment, like they were being taken down, and then it was allowing like the animals and like everything to kind of like get all refreshed and everything.
More trees and stuff, like planting more trees.
I can't hear you, David.
Oh, sorry. They're just planting more trees and putting more nature onto the planet.
Yeah, and then I had like a kind of a light bulb moment, because I saw I kind of had a download of a session that I was in where I was shown a future where I was like in this ship, and we were looking down the glass, and we were trying to find a spot for our ship to land with the people for like a new area to live in. So I just found it quite interesting.
Well,
so anybody else want to talk about that topic?
Yes, for two reasons. One, if anyone who follows Corey Good, he's big in the ufology community. He's been talking about a solar flash coming for years now. And it is going to serve the purpose of facilitating a much greater level of soulful ascension on the planet. This will not have been the first solar flash that the Earth has experienced in the past. And in the past, people would go into the earth like in caves and tunnels and things, and stay there in order to be protected from the solar flash. And there are tunnels in, I think, Turkey, in Iraq, South America.
Which they still will be doing. There will still be happening.
Yes, I think in Egypt, underneath Giza, there are supposed to be tunnels and things like that, and so it was just a way to protect themselves from it. But the seizures and the heart attacks and all that is because anytime we have a solar flare, it's always an electromagnetic, like, right? Yeah. At us. And so since we are electrical beings, especially our nervous system and our neurological system, that's where we can get the seizures and the heart attacks and anxiety and things like that. Well, even just this morning, there was an M-class coronal mass ejection, and we'll start feeling the effects of it starting tomorrow through Wednesday. But this is one that happened Friday. So I think the one from this morning will start feeling, I think, maybe Thursday and Friday. This coming Thursday and Friday. So imagine this. We've got energy from the coronal mass ejections while we're also experiencing a super moon, blood moon, right? So it's going to be amazing. But I have heard that the solar flash could happen in the year 2026. And I had a dream about this years ago where David, about the planting trees, that's what I was shown, is that there are going to be, because the solar activity, and if anybody watching is interested in learning more about how the sun's activity and the galactic energies like the gamma rays and neutrinos affect the electromagnetic frequency of our planet, which then also has a direct effect on our volcanoes and our tectonic plates, so earthquakes. We will also experience then a lot of earth shifts, disasters. I hate to say that, but what humans would have in the past determined as being a disaster. And so in my dream, there were like fires and, buildings kind of crumbled. And there are people who were like, what? Oh my God. And those of us who knew this was coming and who know the purpose of it, were taking them by the hand and guiding them to kind of centralized locations where we're kind of all staying safe together. And those of us who know why it's happening and what's going on are teaching those that don't and didn't. In my dream, it looked in my dream, it looked like what used to be a hospital that was now being used to house people and keep them safe. And then after that, I was shown like an enormous number of trees, an incredibly blue sky, and perfectly clean water. And so it's like saying this has to happen in order to get us there, where we're, not the new world order version of it, where it's supposed to look like we're going to be helping the environment, but really it's just sort of a great big Ponzi scheme for them to make money under the guise of environmental protection. It will actually be like a whole renewal for everyone. It's going to be a process. It's not going to be a one-off.
Yeah, this is what the guy was talking about. He was talking about these cities. They're made. They're called crystal cities, and they were being made. And she was asking him because, like, they're under hypnosis, and she was asking him, like, when did this happen, and what? And he talked about the solar flare, and that's how it all started. And she's like, how did these crystals? How did we get from the way we are now to like living in these crystal cities on grid lines? And she said, and it looked like there wasn't as many people living on there. And then he was explaining that a lot of them were in the ships, and that they were going to be being brought back down as soon as the cities were like made for them to live in, and that we were going to be living alongside nature in a much different way and than we are now. And we won't be like raping the trees off the land and like doing all the things with the nutrients in the soil, because like we're not going to be harming it anymore.
Yes. And we will be using a means of generating energy that are way more advanced than solar and wind, and no one necessarily profits from that.
And then they were saying, like, anybody that does go up into the ships, that they will be acclimated, and they will be there's going to be no people like really like left behind to like, they're going to be acclimated, and they'll be able to when it's time to go back into the earth, when the earth is ready for them, they'll be already ready to be at that vibration.
Mm-hmm.
But once this solar flash hits, the vibration is going to be very high.
Yeah. And the crystal cities, I think, is interesting because that, to me, harkens back to the golden age of Atlantis before it started going, because that's in many ways how it was, where it was not necessarily buildings made of crystal, but buildings that had crystals embedded in all of the walls in order to like, that's kind of what the Atlantean temples look like. At least that's what I've seen in my dreams, where there are crystals embedded in the walls. And so to me, it's very much like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's like crystal grids. I mean, they're like displayed in geometrical shapes in order to raise the energy. So
And the Atlantean temples were placed on the ley lines or the dragon lines of the earth for the Earth's grid, just as is being seen in the future. Mm-hmm. So that makes just so much sense.
And they're saying that Giza will come back online too.
And then
Wait,
there's
one more
nothing to worry about. That
Sorry,
there's
I'll come
nothing
back
to,
up.
for anybody that's listening to us that might start going into fear about this. That there's nothing to worry about. That you will be taken care of. Your family will be safe. Everybody will be taken. And if you're not ready for this solar flash, then you will be helped. You will be like taken to a safe place, whether it be in a ship or whether it be like in the ground or somewhere. You will be, and that there are light workers that are placed all over the earth to assist, and they've all been given jobs. Like Bonnie, you were talking about how had been getting some direction about something that you might need to be doing when this all happens.
They were saying, moving people through the portals and guiding people, and kind of like the keeping the peace. Don't be afraid. Relax, just breathe. The energies will pass. Like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you and I will be doing similar work, because that's pretty much what I saw, where it was like taking people by the hand and calming them down and explaining what's going on and helping them work through it. Yeah.
Dave, do you feel like you know what your kind of job is going to be? Have you been given any kind of directions?
Most likely it's going to be staying on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's so much there's so many let me turn up my volume. There's just so many people that are going to need help and guidance, to expand their consciousness, and we have all these tools and everything that we've been learning now. And I mean, on the video they said that solar flare was 2022 even, so it just depends on how fast this ascension timeline comes and what happens over the months to come, I guess. And then
and she also did say don't worry about the timing where people are coming up with like years and times when it's going to happen. You'll know when it's going to happen when things start happening. There's disclosure, there's chaos, people are going kind of like crazy, everything's kind of and people aren't handling things very well, and you'll know when it's going to be happening. And they were explaining to this guy in the session that he didn't need to worry about anything, because when the ships kind of come, the people you'll be helping them to go and escort them, and everybody will be fine. It's not going to be, they're not going to like just plop a solar flare down and burn everybody up. It's not gonna happen.
So you guys, we have about 6 minutes left because we're going to bring Adam on here in a little bit. But do you want to read the comments? There's a few comments.
Let me see if there's any more.
It's
about shifting. There'll be a vibrational shift when this happens that will put people into a higher alignment with humanity, with consciousness. So like it's what has to happen. This is what Gaia said to me. This is what has to happen for the planet.
Okay, so look, let me see if I can show this. Oh, look it! I figured out something else. Okay, so this is Holly, and she says, guides have been showing me of the 3 huge underground crystals here in Arkansas that hold the information from Atlantis. There is a blue crystal of knowledge, green for the heart chakra, I think, and I'm not sure if it has anything more on there.
Cool.
I think it ends there.
I would imagine so, just because she only mentioned 2 of the 3, but...
Oh, wait. Oh, there's another part of it. And the platinum one that came online on the 11/11/11.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I just learned something new I can do. So I can put
That's fun.
Yeah, and then there's a guy, there's Chords Keeper, and they just said buffering, guys. I don't know what that means.
That means that we're not, we're kind of looking like that spinny thing, and we're not saying anything.
Oh, wait, let me go up and see if I can find another one.
Well, did you see where Holly is saying guides have been showing me of the 3?
Hi, guys. I have been receiving info on crystal grid. There are huge grids of enormous crystals. The ancestors are here. Woohoo.
Woohoo is right.
Yeah, right, Holly.
Woohoo.
Let's see. Janine. She says, I agree. Lots of great wisdom here.
Yay,
Thank you, Janine.
So I think I found all of them.
Well, Holly says one more thing. She says guides have been showing me of the 3 huge underground crystals here Arkansas that holds.
Yeah, I put that one up.
Have you found it?
Yeah, I already put that one up.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Well,
that is
Janine's had the
that's first one we
dreams,
put up.
she says, and she's
Oh.
getting ready.
All right. So we kind of have to,
We're gonna
gosh,
go
we
away.
could talk all day on this, but we have to wrap it up.
So we're gonna just recap. The intention for today was to come on and introduce you to Jennifer Passavant, and she's going to be coming on and she's going to be doing a healing circle inside the New Earth Zoom room. And so the week that she will be doing this is on. She's going to do it on Sunday, May 6th or June 6th. I'm sorry, 2021. And so the week before that, there'll be an event posted inside of the New Earth Ascending Consciousness Facebook group that will have a link inside of there for you to come in and join her. We don't always stream the Unity Circles live. A lot of times we record them and then put them up afterwards. So you don't know if it's going to be streamed or not. It all depends on the day. So that's why we actually came on today.
Yeah.
The end.
And also the guy that said that it was buffering, he says he'll watch the replay so it won't be
Oh,
buffering.
good. Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited. I hope it's live just because I would love to interact with the people that want to comment or ask questions or things like that. I love interaction.
Well, that'll depend on Bonnie and if she can get it to go live.
If not, the world will still spin,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
It's been going
But-
live on Zoom. If we're using Zoom, it depends on what we're using. What are we using?
Yeah, but I think we don't know. I think you can actually go live into the YouTube channel, but I'm not sure. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to see if we can get the Zoom
Play
to
it
go
by ear.
live. Yeah.
All right. So everybody, I'm excited for Jennifer's circle, and I hope that you all can come.
I might do a live energy healing too, just saying.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just said.
Awesome.
So we hope to see you all there.
And we hope
David,
to see
do you have
tomorrow
anything
on
to
Hearts of
say?
Change.
Well, I've seen some of Jennifer's energy healings, and I've even had friends who've been watching, and they're like, "Oh my God, she was exactly saying where my pain was, and as soon as she was moving her hands, it went away." And so you definitely don't want to miss it.
Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot. Thank you.
And so maybe we'll see you tomorrow on the Hearts of Collective Change and the healer. We do our
Yeah,
healing.
everybody go to the Hearts of Collective tomorrow. I've had that on the bottom of the screen. It's on the Facebook. It's a Facebook page. Go on and or maybe watch their replay if you're in bed like I am. And
It'll be healing on Wii. So yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That'll
So
be
we
fun.
will see you in another few minutes. We're going to go off for now, and then we're going to come back on with Adam. So
Bye everyone. Thanks for
bye.
watching.
Bye.
See you later.